It is the RIOT podcast. You can... I don't know why. I always just want to say it's on RadioU.
Oh, it's
and
fine.
so then I try to transition to
and you've lost
where
it.
you can listen to it, which you're already listening to it. Why do I need to tell you that?
It's different. It's the podcast.
Yeah.
Happy Friday, guys, or whenever you're listening to this. Enjoy the podcast today, and then when you're done, head straight over to RadioU RIOT on Facebook and YouTube to watch our Mexican street corn, Cheetos food fight.
Yes.
You can watch that video too. And
Don't spoil it.
will we like them? Man could go into man, I hate them, or man, I love them.
Man, they are gross.
Or
man, they are delicious.
So in this podcast, we will do the food fight where you can find out if we like those Cheetos or not.
We also, in the podcast, get to Nikki's NBA predictions.
Yeah, let's see how I do on Monday.
Make sure you listen before the games happen so you can find out.
Hey, I'll tell you,
Again,
I did a couple of fantasy leagues a while ago.
Oh, yeah?
And I've won money before.
Oh, have you?
And I will pick based on how I feel.
Okay.
Not like how the teams are actually doing.
You pick based off of the names? Like you always pick the Bears? Or?
It's who feels better out of the two.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. So what if I'm really good at it?
Yeah, you just have an intuition of the mindset that the players have.
Sometimes the people that try really enjoy it and try really hard are the ones that never win anything.
That's right.
But I've won gift cards too.
Ooh. All right. There you have it. Nikki's expert analysis.
Yep.
It's coming up. We also get to my final wishes for what I want Nikki to do with me when I die.
Great.
And the new Power Rangers movie and the NFL, the Madden cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all in there.
Unveil the details. So enjoy the podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and say hi 877 to Radio U.
Yes. Good to join.
So you can't end it.
I just can't end it either. I can't start. I can't end.
Goodbye. Good day.
Yep.
Have a good weekend. Here we go. Anything like that.
Thanks for joining in.
Okay. Bye.
I'll see you later.
That was my favorite.
There's no fresh by date because it was spoiled when they made it. Worst of the RIOT. Radio U.
Listen, when you're going to set a Guinness World Record, sometimes you've got to get really creative.
Oh, to
and
make
just
the record work?
Come up with one that's never been done before. Like this man in Nebraska who set the record for skydiving naked in 24 hours. Now, he could have just done one, and, well, I guess maybe that wouldn't have been a record. Somebody surely has done it before.
Has done that before.
But he contacted Guinness World Records, and they said he needed to do it at least 25 times in 24 hours if he wanted to set the world record.
Oh, that was the previous one.
Well, you might think, but he went with 60. He just went all the way up to 60.
Oh, I wonder why.
That is a question I don't have an answer for.
He just really wanted to go for it.
He did. Well, I mean, why? If you're going to go through all the trouble anyways, you might just get your money's worth. Might as well get your money.
But you're
money's
not
worth.
naked if you're wearing the parachute pack.
Well, that's all he was wearing.
So that was it?
Yeah.
Gosh, I would hate to be
That was it.
Man, I would really hate to be the company taking him up and down. Be like, what do you want to do? You want to do a record?
You really got to wipe down the plane so many times.
You're just like, why are we doing this, guys?
Why don't you just stay standing? Can you keep your flip-flops on until you actually jump out?
You wish it could be like when you ride in the first seat on the front of a roller coaster and then you just keep going around. You don't have to get out. But
Yeah.
I mean, with
He
jumping out of a
skydives and then
plane,
another plane comes down below and catches him.
Exactly. It's like just keep this never-ending loop for the 24 hours.
Yeah, well, what happened was his name is Ryan Knoof. He's from Omaha, and I don't understand initially why he wanted to do this because eventually, of course, it comes to he's raising money for a mental health charity for Movember, which is really nice.
And in case you didn't realize, if you want to get more noticed and news about what you're trying to raise money for, you're just naked.
Yes, you're naked and you're setting Guinness World Records, but I don't know. So he actually came up with this idea. He said it comes from, it's a funny tradition in the skydiving community where you do your 100th skydive jump naked.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he's probably not the first person to do it once.
Sure.
But he is the first person to do it over 25 times in 24 hours and all the way up to 60 to make it really hard for the next person to beat him.
Yeah, you want to make sure you go way above.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. He had a friend die, and so that's why he decided for the fundraiser and for charity, and he did the 60 skydiving jumps in 24 hours.
So if it worked for him, maybe for the RadioU fundraiser,
no,
we're going to have to break his record.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Cole, you can do it.
Oh, man.
I just feel bad. I'm a practical person. I feel bad because the CBS story that's built in, like the video, someone has to blur all that.
Oh, that would be a lot of work.
I just know, like, well, that was also a bad editing day. We're like, what do we have to do for this story?
I'm all in on I will do it for RadioU. My problem is the skydiving part.
Oh, you don't want to do that?
I'll be naked. I don't want to do the skydiving.
Okay, I'll do the skydiving part, and you do that part, and there you go.
I'll be together. Somehow
Together
it works.
we're beating this.
It's just because you're not skydiving naked, and just because I'm not skydiving at all.
Yeah.
Between the two of us, it still counts. I
Man,
think.
we must be just opposites, because I'd be like, yeah, let's do the trend where we're wearing the most clothes to go skydiving ever.
There's an idea. That actually sounds more dangerous, though.
Oh, actually, it does, because it would just pull you down.
Yeah.
And
your hoodie would get tangled in the parachute parts.
But it's raising money for RadioU.
Yeah, so it's worth it.
I'll give it a try.
So worth it.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Man, there are so many laws in the United States. It is crazy. When you think about, you start at the federal, so there's all the federal law, then there's state law, there's local, and like it gets really down to your
County
town.
law.
County law.
County law's in there. Don't forget county law.
Can't forget county law. There's so many laws that you it almost scares me in a way to know.
How many layers?
At any moment, somebody could find a law I'm breaking and I could get in big trouble for it. I always think of and then you think about like all the those random laws you see news stories about every once in a while. It's like in this city in Utah, it's illegal to ride a horse backwards with a foam finger on your hand or whatever.
It comes from like the 1800s, but just no one's
the law
changed
is still
the
on the
law.
books,
Yeah.
and perish the thought of that one guy who actually happens to ride a horse backwards with a foam finger because he didn't probably know it was illegal, but it is. And there's just so many laws, and it's hard to keep them all in check. And people think about that when it comes to God as well, where God has just laid out this unbelievable list of laws that how are you ever going to follow them all and all that. And the truth is, God has literally said that the law all comes down to loving people. Like, all I care about at the end of the day is that you need to love everybody. Now, the thing is, that's actually really hard, too. I mean, we all think we can do it. But then wait till somebody cuts you off in traffic, or we'll talk about it in a little bit. A guy who dumps toilet paper off of the top floor of an apartment building, and that falls on you. Man, that is all of a sudden it's not so easy to love people anymore. But what God wants to do is to teach you how to love, to teach you how to deal with even those most difficult people, and even sometimes yourself, because we can all fall into that as well.
That can be the hardest.
Where maybe I don't deserve love because I've done this or that. But God's saying, no, I want you to love everybody, and that includes yourself as well, because I love you. Jesus sees who you are, and he loves you, and he wants you to pass that on to everyone else. And if you're ready for that, to find out what that is really about, there's a couple things you can do. One, start with RadioU.com/free gift, because we've got a lot of a good start, a head start for you there. But also, you can just simply right now say, hey, God, I want to know more. Jesus, start talking to me about what love is really about. How do I live that way? And that's once you start thinking of everything through the frame of, I just need to follow one rule. I just need to love everybody. It makes it a whole lot easier.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
There really is a guy, he's in Scotland, who was at the top floor of an apartment building in a busy town. I don't know exactly which town. Somewhere, it looks like Perth. Perth, Scotland.
Nice.
This guy on the top floor.
Of his flat.
Of
That's
his
what they
flat.
call
Yeah,
it.
that's what they call it. And he decided to just rain down used. I think that's an
Fire.
important. Yes, it might as well have been.
It would have been better if it would have been fire.
People would have been more accepting, more tolerant if it was fire, because it was actually used toilet paper that he had thrown out. Now, at first, like the way the story presents it, it's not 100% clear at first, because it says it costs 3,000 pounds, not 3,000 pounds worth of toilet paper.
But the cleanup.
And we're talking British pounds, not, it didn't weigh 3,000 pounds, because that would also be bad.
It's like $4,000 to
Yeah.
clean up the toilet paper because at like 4:30 they said there was a lot of people out. 4:30 is still a busy time on the road.
Yeah.
And
It's almost rush hour, right?
that's when he started throwing out the used toilet paper, and people were just below, and they said they know it was used.
They could tell.
You could tell.
Like how they said, on closer inspection, you could smell the odor.
They didn't need to inspect your
No,
clothes.
no, there's no inspection needed.
My question was, so like, was he just, it seemed like it was a lot.
Yeah.
So has he been storing it up, or why wouldn't he throw it, flush it away?
It had to have been a decent amount. Now, I know in some areas you are not able to flush toilet paper because the septic systems can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the case in Scotland.
Well, he was saying, okay, I found this. He's on the top flat, right? The top apartment. He said his issue with his toilet, it was prone to flooding. He was scared to use the toilet because it was the top level. And they said there were other ways of dealing with it than the way that he did.
Oh, there is?
So I know, right? The police said he was well aware of what he was doing. So he was remanded into custody for 32 days.
Jeez,
for
that's
every flush.
that is funny.
not
He
true.
was well aware.
Of what he
so
did?
as if the thoughts went through his mind to where, well, I can't flush this. It might cause flooding. The next best thing is just throwing it out the window. That won't have any
people.
consequences. Yeah.
Aw, so he had done something similar before.
Oh, okay.
He could have bagged it, which is what the sheriff said.
Yeah.
And
And is there other solutions also?
well,
Other
I don't
choices
know. Flush
besides
it and
that?
just roll with
Well,
it.
yeah, roll with it.
But he said that it was empty pot noodle containers. Is that like ramen?
I guess, yeah, maybe.
Wasn't just toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
And that was on the street, on people's roofs. And so he was placed under a social work supervisor for 12 months to make sure he stops doing this. This is what he also did.
Okay.
You know, you got to go down to the bottom of the article, Hudson.
Sometimes they bury some good stuff.
So witnesses said that he also created a major health hazard because he hurled bottles of 1 and 2.
Ooh, well, that feels like
outside of his house.
That should be more to the top of the story, I think.
His only explanation is that the toilet was blocked, and that's not good enough.
No, that is not good enough.
The equivalent of someone's lint collection. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Say it with me, Nikki. Madden Curse. Madden Curse.
I feel like the Madden Curse cursed its own game. Like, I know some people still play Madden,
Yeah.
but it's been a long time since it used to be like a major game.
Yeah, I remember it really being a big deal too. It was probably like 10 to 15 years ago. Maybe it's just because I was a kid and I liked football.
And it meant more.
It meant more back then. But it also felt like, you know, with a lot of video games, there used to be such vast improvements even from year to year. And now it's pretty much the same every time they put one out.
There's only so much you can do. And with Madden, there was always the Madden Curse. Like, whoever got the cover of the video game was like, something would change. And something would happen.
Oftentimes they would get injured. They would get benched for some reason. Like, they just have a terrible year. And I think part of that might have been maybe Madden tried to get a little too creative with the players they were picking. They would choose the hot new guy who might not be as established. And now they're doing quite the opposite. In fact, they're picking two guys, you heard me right, that have been on the cover before, and they're going to share the spotlight this year.
Does it feel like they were going to have the Aaron Rodgers and they changed? Does this feel like this was the plan all along?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
So this is the Madden for Madden 22. The cover is going to be the MVP edition.
Okay, now that really feels like
It does, doesn't it? I don't know
because
why.
Aaron Rodgers was the MVP.
I know. I feel like this was a backup plan, and they're like, yeah, Tom will do anything.
Right.
Bring Tom Brady in.
Yeah, these guys, they'll do it. And man, I feel like they stole it from Aaron Rodgers now. I'm just going to come out and say that.
Maybe
Tom
he didn't
Brady
want
has
it.
stolen another thing from Aaron Rodgers that should be his title and his cover, and they're just giving it to Tom as
So
if he
it's not
hasn't had enough.
It's not just Tom Brady, though, from
Right.
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Of course,
but
Super Bowl champs.
from the Chiefs, you got Patrick Mahomes. He's the second one that's on the cover. And it's not like they're doing here's one and here's the other, and
Yep.
you just get one. They're both on the one cover.
They are sharing the spotlight there,
Mm-hmm.
and they've both had it before. Patrick Mahomes was for Madden 20, which was that I guess that's 2 years ago, maybe, or was it last year? I don't know. The numbers confuse me. And then Tom
Well,
Brady
it's
was
20
Madden 18.
This is 22 now, meaning like this is for Madden 22.
Okay,
So I think it's
so
for...
they're not like cars where they do like the year ahead,
it
because
would
they
be.
used to do that, I think.
It would be because we're 21 now.
Well, you're right. So then Madden 20 was for 19, so that was 2 years ago. Okay.
There
See,
it is.
we can get to it.
There it is. They say that the last time they had a cover that featured a pair of players was Madden NFL 10.
And why don't you tell us the players that what that was?
Larry Fitzgerald
and
and Troy P. Troy P.
It was Troy Polamalu.
Oh, yeah,
of course.
yes.
You know him. Well, you would remember
Hudson,
him.
when you're familiar with him like I am. It's just Troy,
Yeah, it's just a first name basis.
Yeah,
well,
he's a person.
Surely you know him from when he used to do the Head and Shoulders commercial.
He was the guy with the hair.
Yep, he was.
Oh, I know him.
And the surprise, like his voice is surprisingly high.
I don't think I'd count
You don't remember that?
No, I
Yeah.
only know the hair commercials.
A very like soft voice for a big bruising NFL football player. But
Well, that was the last
he
time.
had the hair to go with it. Yes, it was
So
nice.
today they announced, or it was announced yesterday, Madden 22, the MVP edition cover is going to go to Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. They're both on it together.
Not Aaron Rodgers for some reason. So, hey, Madden Curse. Maybe this year we can bring it back and Aaron Rodgers can finally get the Super Bowl he deserves, is what I'm hoping for.
Maybe one
Whether
day.
it be with the Packers or otherwise.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on Radio U.
It's happening. It's still a thing. The murder hornets.
I didn't think we mentioned not too long ago that, especially in Washington, it's still a thing.
It's a concern.
It's a concern for murder hornets, murder. But to the rest of the country, I don't know, like, how bothersome they are or if they're even around in different places.
Well, they're saying that this is the first one that they found across the United States in 2021, which is confusing to me because they were here in 2020. So what, did they all die, completely die off, and now we have a new population, or like the eggs hatch, kind of like, I don't totally understand that. But the good news is the first one they found of 2021 is dead.
But it's still in Washington.
Yes, it is in Washington.
Marysville, Washington, which is just north of Seattle. A lady there found what she thought was a murder hornet, and they examined it and they confirmed it was a male murder hornet's corpse.
Yikes.
Is what the article says.
So she just happened to find it?
She found it,
Or was there some foul play involved?
No, she just happened to find. Oh, you mean like did she kill it?
Is she the
Did
murderer?
She murder the
Is
murder
she
hornet?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, to be the police officer.
Can we
on that
rule her
case.
out?
You can't.
Are we sure that it was natural causes?
You can't. That's a good call on
It's
that.
very suspicious.
They say if you get stung by a murder hornet, it feels like having red hot thumbtacks stabbed into your skin. And it's got painful venom, which it can spit like into your human's eyes.
That's where I'm going to draw the line right
So
there.
you don't want that?
Yes, I want no part of it.
Does
No
it
part
sound
of it
just
at
like
all.
a Monday? I mean, who doesn't feel like thumbtacks are just pushed into you
Yeah,
all day?
we've all been there. Well, I don't know. Are we? I just don't understand if we really should be concerned across the country at this point when it's been over a year since they first discovered them.
I mean, it's not like that. They were brand new last year.
Yeah,
we just
but-
don't normally talk about them.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just it feels like we're trying to make a lot of something just because it's called a murder hornet, which is it even really called that, or is that just a news thing?
It is called a murder hornet because they destroy honeybee hives. So they murder them.
So that's what we're worried about.
Yeah, and remember, we're supposed to really care about the bees.
We need
because
to watch out for the bees.
they do a lot more than we realize.
Yeah.
And they're misunderstood, and like it'll destroy our whole world if we lose the bees.
Then we'll have a whole lot of empty little bears,
Yes.
little plastic bears.
Oh, yeah. How will we fill them up with honey if we don't have the honey?
Yeah. In 2021, isn't it kind of surprising? Maybe we can. We can't make like imitation honey.
We can.
We can?
Yeah.
But it's probably not as good.
Have you had agave?
No, I don't think I have.
Agave nectar?
Is that supposed to be the same?
Oh, it's like a alternative.
It's a nectar.
Yeah, because some people don't like bee because it's back and forth on like what what honey actually is.
Yeah.
Some people say it's bee vomit. Some people say it's this, and so like not everybody likes to have honey.
Well,
but
some people are probably allergic to it too, right?
Yeah, I bet. But
Yeah,
agave
probably.
is more like the cool alternative.
You never think about what the agave is.
It's made from murder hornets.
Maybe the murder hornets make really good nectar and we don't even know about it. Maybe there's some positives we can explore. Yes, they're killing the bees, but what if there is something that we can harness for good? We're a strong people here in the United States.
We are, but they're saying it's mostly just in Washington, so I don't know if the rest of the United States is like, yeah, we're not really worried about it.
Yeah, I guess not. Well, Washington's going to have to get on it.
This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
We have for you right now, for us, and for your enjoyment as well, we're going to be doing Mexican street corn Cheetos.
They say tangy, spicy, cheesy, made with real cheese.
And it doesn't even say, I don't see limited edition on it. So these might be around long term if you're lucky.
You're actually right. That maybe they're moving
good.
into an all-time flavor.
They just don't want to close the door on keeping them around for a long time.
Oh, they smell pretty. Now, you've said you've not had Mexican street corn before.
No, I have not.
And it's good. I just wonder how, like, I don't know, sweet or like sugary it'll taste.
Yeah.
Or I'm curious.
I don't know. The tang is what interests me here.
A few years ago, we had these Mountain Dew Cheetos, and they were so odd because they were so sweet that these look just like those. I know Mountain Dew flavor is not the same as Mexican street corn.
You know what they smell like?
In my mind.
They smell like Funyuns.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
And if they taste like Funyuns, I mean, I don't know why we need two of the exact same kind of snack. But I love Funyuns, so
yeah, this could work.
Let's find out here.
All right, so good morning, Josh. Thanks for hanging on. If you guys hop over to RadioU Riot on Facebook or YouTube, you can watch us there.
And if you're on Facebook, you can see my life hack to keep my fingers clean. I have the Cheetos poured into a cup that I will pour into my mouth.
And you're not even touching all the equipment I am, so I should get my hands all nice and Cheeto-y. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Hey, way to go.
I could eat more of these.
Now,
let's see. Let's give them some time to permeate here.
To change. Do I feel it's just screams Mexican street corn? I don't know if I do, but it's a nice flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, I've never had Mexican street corn, so if I tasted these blindly,
you wouldn't even know.
I wouldn't know what they were supposed to be.
It's a
but
nice
I would
flavor.
Eat them.
It goes really well with a Cheeto.
Oh, what a great way to start the day, isn't it?
Well, all right, guys.
Ooh, they do have a little spice on the back. I feel it in the back of my throat. Feels like it's going to clear things up back there. Which should be good. Makes for good radio. I'll have a nice voice the rest of the show.
On. It's like, why did he get deeper? You guys really come to us to find out about these news things and, food fight stuff. So if it means that I have to eat all 100 in here, we will. So just to make sure we're giving you our honest opinion.
My honest opinion is a thumbs up.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, not the best Cheetos, but man.
These are good.
They're really decent.
I think we're not leaving them in the break room for anybody else.
And we each have our own bag, and it's not the little tiny bag either.
No.
It's the $1.99 version.
Oh, I like when it gets better, too. The more the spices in your mouth, it just gets better and better.
Yep.
I see.
This is a
Hello,
winner.
Michelle. Michelle says good morning. Katie says morning, guys.
I think we need to just end this so we can eat them without being on the mic.
Actually, now we are just eating, aren't we?
Yeah, right.
We're just eating with you guys. But they're so good.
They are really good.
Oh, those are great.
I wonder how they pair with coffee.
Well, you're going to find out, aren't you?
I'm going to find out.
Those are super good. Okay, the Mexican street corn Cheetos are really good.
That might be... What taste tests have we done? This might be the best taste test we've done.
Yeah.
It's up there. I mean, it's hard to complain because we did the Reese's a while ago.
Well, we did just do a bunch of donuts earlier this week.
This is better than the donuts.
You think so?
It's
good.
Most of those donuts, I don't think the Krispy Kremes that we tried earlier this week.
Yeah.
I don't think I would go into Krispy Kreme and order them. There's a chance I would walk into a convenience store and buy this bag of Cheetos.
The spice is super nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd put it down, but then we were still talking, so I picked it back up again. So I'm going to go put it down now. Mm-hmm. And we're going to say that the Riot really likes those.
Yeah, these are a big hit. The Mexican street corn Cheetos.
And Chris, I see the Cheeto dust already on the stuff that I should not be touching.
Should have been using
the cup, but that's okay. Those are really good. Well, that's a successful Riot food fight.
Yes.
Something to listen to when you meant to work out but tripped into a box of donuts. This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Well, while Power Rangers Dino Fury has been dazzling fans on the TV side.
Has it?
Can you argue with comicbook.com, Nikki?
Apparently, I don't want to.
I like Power Rangers Dino Fury. All this time, we were just not too long ago talking about the Fast and Furious Jurassic World crossover.
Yeah.
Power Rangers has already done it. They're already crossing over with the dinos.
But
they're a step ahead.
Has Power Rangers been on since the start of time, or how long has that show actually been on air? I know it goes into different variations of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like, has everybody had a Power Rangers during their childhood?
I don't know. I think it goes back to the 90s.
Okay.
If it goes back earlier than that, I'm not aware. So that feels right.
You don't remember the Power Rangers
the
learning
80s
about
Power
the
Rangers.
60s? or
the hippie
50s?
Power Rangers.
It's like, don't you ever talk to your grandmother
They're not
about
doing
it?
ninja moves. They're just like, chill out, man.
Like, Grandpa, tell me about the time you watched Power Rangers on your TV that had 2 channels.
Yep, there was only 2 channels, and Power Rangers was so good they had to put it on in black and white.
Maybe it's not that old. All
that
right.
was prime time right there. Power Rangers, right after Bonanza.
But we're just picking old things.
Power
we don't even know.
However, I mean, it's been around for about 30 years at least.
August 28th, 1993.
Ooh, there we go. Almost 20 years, and it'll mark the 20-year anniversary by putting out a brand new movie reboot in 2023. We now have details that it's coming in 2023. Jonathan Entwistle has been tapped to direct the project, and I don't know who that is. You would think they would maybe get a high-profile name to attach to Power Rangers.
Well, what was the other Power Rangers movie? Wasn't there
Power
one?
Rangers.
Wasn't that like a few years ago?
I don't know what it was called. I know that it was a big deal around here, of course. But
was it?
to some people.
To some people it was.
Not to me.
Okay, good. I just want to make
Wasn't
sure.
that the one that just had the most overt product placement? Where there was just like huge Krispy Kreme tie-ins the whole time or something like that?
I never heard that.
Yeah, I think it was. I think that's what happened with it.
Well, pardon me, guys. While you hear J-Way, I'm going to be Googling all about that.
Yeah, we got to find out more about Power Rangers from
really
the past. But they are bringing it back, and it sounds like they're tying it into Power Rangers Dino Fury.
That's a show?
Which is a show that's been dazzling people on the TV side. I don't even know what channel. But it's been dazzling according to comicbook.com.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Nikki, finally, you can fulfill my last wish.
Yeah.
You can compost me.
Oh, well,
And there are more and more options for you to do so.
In which state do I have to be in?
You now you have 3 choices. You can either take me to Washington, Colorado, or coming soon, Oregon. They just signed a bill into law that will make human composting legal.
No offense to Oregon, but I totally thought you would have had that approved already.
You should have beat Washington to it for sure.
It feels very Oregon.
Yes, it does. So now I can be placed in a box once I die.
Okay, now when I think of composting, that's like my little tumbler thing in the backyard that you can put your vegetable scraps in and then wheel around every so often. And
you're gonna wheel around my body?
I don't know, like a bingo machine.
Yes,
is that the
that sounds like the way I should go.
Is that the composting, or they just mean I can bury you, or
it
what?
It is, but I don't think they do the little rotation thing. It says The body is placed in a special container surrounded by wood chips
casket?
and plant material and then left alone for 30 days for the bacteria and microbes to do their work. And then the resulting remains are stored in separate containers for another few weeks. And then you have about a pickup truck's tailgate full of human soil
That's not tailgating
is
to
given
me.
back to you to do what you want with, or you can donate it through them. So I want to be composted, and then you can decide from there if you'd like to use me in your garden or.
Oh, it's so awful. You're like, hey, Hudson. Say hi to you every day as I leave. Looking good.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
You could compost me. You could plant me here at RadioU. I'll still do the show.
Well, okay, so what's the big difference then between if someone is ashes and you're sprinkling those?
Well, I don't think the ashes really have any
Impact on the earth?
like nutrient properties that are going to be helping in a garden sense.
Oh, I don't
But
like
I'm just
this.
making stuff up. That's just what I think, but I have no expertise on the matter whatsoever.
Well, they're just saying that even if there's not something you want to use if Hudson did get composted, which sounds like a horrible TV show. Like that wood chipper one. What's the one? Is it Fargo?
Fargo, yeah, where the guy goes, spoiler alert.
Oh, I think that's old enough. I think that's old enough. But they say that for burying a body, like it's the embalming stuff. The chemicals, the stuff that goes with that's what's really bad.
Yeah.
That's not the very green option.
So just let nature embalm
take its
you.
course.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
don't make me do that. Don't make me.
Well, you're gonna have to do something with me.
No, that's your friends and family. I mean, I am.
Oh,
friends.
we're not you're not friends now.
Hang on. You're right. We are.
But
I
not
think,
that kind of friends, maybe.
I think that's more family. I should have not said friends.
Okay.
That's
What
family.
What if you outlive my family?
I'll take that risk. I guess maybe. Let's see. Nick who said this in Kentucky? Oh, Nick did it in Kentucky. It's still legal to dig a hole and put the body in the backyard.
Ugh.
Is it?
That concerns me, though. What if you just found, you stumbled upon somebody who'd done that? You're just asking for a police investigation, even if nothing went wrong.
Well, yeah, you're the one buying the house or something, and then you move in. But so this would be composting, and they're just saying that that's coming soon to Oregon.
Yep.
And it's already in Washington.
And there's one company that does it, it seems like. So they're probably booked up. You think?
Probably.
I would hate to. The thing I can't imagine is working for a funeral home or anything like that. This one sounds extra bad. You put the body and then you have to go check on it after it's been sitting in dirt for 30 days.
Oh, it's so sad.
What a job. They couldn't pay anybody enough.
I know, and you're like, but it's just our circle
It's
of
medical,
life.
yeah.
No,
you should be comfortable with it. It's just, it's healthy. It's nature.
I just don't want to be compost. I don't think I want to.
No?
Because don't they add horse manure and they add all
It
that
just
other
says
stuff?
wood chips and plant material.
That's plant materials. They're going to put out that category, and then you're suddenly in your garden. And
Bury me in manure.
just let it go. I can't.
Lower your expectations enough and you'll never be disappointed. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Father's Day coming up this Sunday, don't forget. And it's fortunate that for celebrating dads this weekend, we can also celebrate their bods.
I think I need to hear a bit more about this. Hang on, everybody. Hang on. Are you saying the dad bod?
The dad bod is still in.
Okay, so that's like the ideal body type.
That is, according to a survey that was done by Planet Fitness, they out of all the places, of course, the people they surveyed would say the dad bod is in. But according to their results, 70% of women agree that the dad bod is still just as sexy as ever.
Even though we've all seen way different types of dad bods.
Right.
So
It's a very generic term. Maybe the dad bod is good in your mind because you just have one version of the dad bod that you would like. But there's a big variety there.
Yeah, it's a wide spectrum of body types.
But it's interesting that it does seem to, from this survey, we can't call it a study. It's by Planet Fitness. They just asked a bunch of people. It's not a study. It's not really scientific. But they found that the dad bod is even preferred over like being a big muscular.
Oh, like really ripped?
Yeah, like actually in shape, which again, very on brand for Planet Fitness.
They say that 69% of men with dad bods that kind of fall in that look say they're confident and comfortable with their physique.
I wonder what percent of, like if you just surveyed every dad, how many of them would say they had a dad bod?
Oh, like if they think they do, or do they even not have a dad bod?
Because it's so undefined.
Sure.
Like almost anybody could say that the dad bod. The dad bod is really just any body that's not exactly in shape, that doesn't have a six pack. It's a dad bod, right?
It's a softer pack.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I'm looking through the whole article. It doesn't anywhere actually say what a dad bod
That's
counts
why
like.
it can be considered so attractive, because it could be anything. It's just what you want it to be.
Pretty much.
So
they say it's a preferred body type, the sign of a family man, and it's confidence.
Yep.
And even though they say that men themselves who might fall in the dad bod category, even if you're not a dad, they say you could be judged though for having a dad bod.
That's another confusing thing about the dad bod, is that it's not necessarily just for dads.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I want to talk to you about sports.
Yeah.
It's sincere sports talk time.
Oh, it's real. Okay.
Yes.
It's real sports
It's
time.
real sports. There's real games going on this weekend. I want your predictions.
On them?
Yes. I've got 3 games coming up this weekend, or 3 results that we will know when we get back in the studio on Monday.
How well we do?
Yes. The Clippers play the Jazz.
Yeah.
Who do you think will win? Remember, the Clippers have Kawhi Leonard missing.
I go the Jazz.
You're going to go the Jazz.
I'm gonna go the Jazz.
Even though they lost the last game without Kawhi.
We're going to
You think they're going to bounce back, huh?
I think they're going to bounce back because they're going to be energized, because the coach is going to give a real motivating speech going into it. Like
a Disney movie.
He's with us even though he's not here, and we're doing it for him. That sort of thing.
All right.
So that's
but Kawhi's on the other team.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Even though he's out, you can be a supportive other team,
Okay, yeah.
I'm still going with them.
Let's see. We have the Hawks against the 76ers.
How are they doing currently? How's the 2 doing?
The Hawks are now up 3-2. They've won 2 games in a row, and both times they came back from big deficits where the 76ers played really bad in the second half.
Let's go Hawks then.
You're going to go with the Hawks. You think they keep that up? And then the big one, Bucks and Nets, Game 7.
We hate the Nets, don't we?
We hate the Nets.
We're going with the Bucks. We're going with the Bucks.
But we also have a healthy hatred for the Bucks because they just can't beat the Nets.
So then what are you supposed to do, Hudson? You can't hate both the teams.
No, I'm given the choice. I prefer the Bucks. I only hate them because they aren't winning enough against the Nets.
They're not good enough?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go with the Bucks, though.
All right.
And I think with
I appreciate your optimism.
Both of our support behind them, I bet you they're going to win.
They're finally going to band together, and when it really counts, they're going to make it. That's exactly why I don't think they're going to win, because I don't think they can do that.
Remember the coach from the team in the first set that I was saying was going to go in and motivate them?
Yep.
The coach is also going to go into this team
to motivate the Bucks.
To go get to the Bucks and talk to them.
That's part of their problem. His name is Eric Budenholzer.
Is that the coach?
Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to be the coach for long. He's done a pretty bad job.
Kind of that.
Yeah, where they have really good, at least a couple of good players where they should be doing better, and he never seems to have the right answer.
So slightly side note, did I see yesterday the Mavericks coach was just like, he's not coming back?
Yeah, that was surprising.
I just thought it was funny because, the lingo was like, I'm just not. I'm not coming back next year.
He just informed the team. Yes. And I thought, he's coached a long time. I thought his name is Rick Carlisle. He's coached with the Mavericks for 13 years, I think, and he coached a lot of other places before that. So it's like, oh, you guess he's retiring? But supposedly it's like, nope, he is a top option for teams looking for a coach this year. So for some reason, he just had it with them.
The delivery option of how he conveyed that message
delivery options
was really funny, because I thought, wow, he just doesn't want to anymore.
Yeah.
I know, like, we might not really want to, but to keep a job, we just keep going.
Right.
We just keep doing it.
You almost missed hearing this one. We just couldn't let that happen. The Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
In entertainment this weekend, let's take a look at Hollywood news.
Yay, what's going on?
On
and who are we supposed to pick to win or lose?
On Disney Plus, you're getting the new movie of the week is Luca, which is that new Pixar movie. And where the kids they live in the water and then they come out and they're humans. And
they said it was like the other version of Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe the one that's not so demeaning to women.
Hey, you're saying that.
You don't need a voice. All you need is a body.
You're right.
No, but
that's worse. That's awful.
That Little Mermaid is the one I have a problem with out of all of them. The most, at least.
Okay.
But you wouldn't know that movie is coming out based off of the reactions because we're getting like first reviews of Black Widow.
Oh, those are already coming out.
They're already coming out. And I was like, oh, is that this weekend? Maybe it's next weekend. It's not till July 9th. It's like 3 weeks from now. Mm-hmm. So why are they putting out the first reactions to it so early? Seems like because it's good.
Well,
like,
a lot of
pretty
times
good.
when reactions come out, it just depends on like if it's a video game or a movie or something that they're reviewing, there's an embargo on it. Mm-hmm. So there's a date that you cannot post a review or talking about it or any spoilers or that sort of stuff at a certain point. And if you do, they could possibly sue you, especially if it's a negative review. Right. Mostly to keep negative reviews from coming out.
Yeah, of course.
So like say a movie comes out on a Friday and you don't hear anything about it until like Friday at noon. Mm-hmm. That usually means they're not so sure about how it's going to do.
Yeah.
But if they have good reviews of it and people are pretty positive about it, they'll sometimes let a few weeks go where they can start pumping it up.
Yeah, it just to me feels really early because it's like 3 weeks until the movie actually comes out, but the reviews seem to be very positive. So I think we're about to get like a 3-week massive push where Disney's going to try to get everyone back to the theater.
Sure.
Or to at least buy it on early access. But I think, what was the movie that A Quiet Place that's been doing so well?
Yeah.
And it's the first movie to hit 100 million domestically.
Yes, and that's been in theaters. They think Black Widow should be like everybody's back to the theater.
Yeah, that's going to be, I think Disney's really going to try to make it a situation where they beat that and they beat it soundly. So, and it seems like again, the reviews are coming out and it's early and they're good. So it seems like it should be good.
But what about the one for today?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if the reviews are as positive.
What'd you call it? Luca?
Luca,
but
yes.
That's just out. You don't have to pay it an extra premium.
Yeah, I think so. It's just for free. So something to just flip on.
It's freezies.
Get your money's worth out of your Disney Plus.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.